typical day in the life of a professor at UVA in the Biomedical Engineering Department turns out not to be so typical. Let's listen and find out.
On any given day, I may not necessarily know what I'm doing on that day, and this is one of the things that I find particularly exciting. So there will be days for me as a professor at a university that I spend the whole day teaching students in lectures, preparing lectures, and doing the kind of teaching element of it. Other days I'm working side by side with students in the lab, so also teaching, but on a very hands-on and one-on-one basis. Other days I am doing my own experiments, particularly in the summer when I don't have to teach. A lot of days I work on the computer and I'm writing proposals, grants, and things, or I'm writing manuscripts for publication. Other days, for example, after I finish with this interview, I have my annual evaluations with everyone in my lab. So I'm doing annual reviews to talk about students and how they're progressing with their education, with their scientific maturity. And there are other days where I'm fixing a broken instrument in the lab. And so it's that element of unpredictability that I would say is the single thing I would associate with the day-to-day basis, but one of the things I really like.
Here's a student in Dr. James's lab doing what is known as wet work, as opposed to doing computer work for their research.
Chance to meet and see other colleagues in the field and really talk about research and talk about how we can collaborate. It also gives me an opportunity to be a leader in the field by organizing things. So I have a couple times I've actually organized conferences. One was up in Cape Cod at this really cool place called Woods Hole, and I got a chance to sort of lead the way and figure out what the conference should be and invite the people to come there. And it was a big success. It was a lot of work, but it really was an exciting time, and it was neat to see people see something come out of something that I had led.
A normal day at UVA is to come in the morning, 8:30. I meet with graduate students one-on-one, talk about the latest experiments they've done, give ideas for them about what next experiments they want to do or how to understand the results from the experiments they've done. I have meetings with other faculty. We try to, every once in a while, we talk about ideas for bigger projects that go between multiple labs, and how do we work on bigger problems that are hard for a single person to do. During fall, I'll teach a couple of hours a week or so, and then there's lots of time to prepare for those. It's kind of a day-to-day experience. To be honest, I write a lot of grant proposals, trying to convince people why they need to give me money to do the experiments. I think that's a pretty universal characteristic just in jobs in general. You need to convince people that what you're doing is worth investing.
So on a typical day here at UVA, what do you do?
So I do research and I teach. Those are sort of the two main things that I do. So in the classroom, I teach engineering design. I've taught undergrads and graduate students in engineering design, and so this is sort of how to take what is a problem that is encountered by patients and doctors and come up with a novel, unique solution that helps solve that problem. So I teach the students how to go through that process, and that is, we use engineering design to do that. And then in the lab, I study how blood vessels grow and remodel, and so I'm developing drugs and therapies to be able to basically take that knowledge and treat different diseases where blood vessel growth and remodeling is impaired or dysfunctional. So some of the disease areas that we're interested in are diabetes, heart disease, peripheral vascular disease, and stroke and eye disease as well.